Hello everyone and welcome back to my A through Z playthrough for Heroes of the Storm. Today, we are going to be playing the Orc that I still consider to be my War Chief. I know someone else currently is labeled and named as the War Chief of the Horde, but Thrall will always be my War Chief. Anyway, Warcraft lore aside, Thrall in Heroes for a long time was regarded as a very stable, solid solo lane character pick. If you need someone to play in the solo lane, you couldn't go wrong with choosing Thrall. He had an excellent way to be able to just keep sustaining himself, just keep on doing some damage, keep getting his trait, which is Frostful Resilience, which keeps healing him when he gets enough stacks. In fact, there was a point in time when he first came out where if you combined this with battle momentum, reducing the cooldowns of all of his abilities, he just could be able to just keep on going. Especially if you also had a talent that could give mana every time he got Frostful Resilience. So he just keeps getting health and mana over and over and over, and he can just keep spamming his abilities. It was pretty strong. And they quickly took battle momentum out of his talent tree, if I recall, to try and reel Thrall in. There was also a time where his Earthquake ult helped elevate Rhaegar when Rhaegar got his Bloodlust ult buffed. There was a point in time where the meta featured Thrall with Earthquake and Rhaegar with Bloodlust, and then you just go forward from there with other basic attackers like perhaps Illidan and such. And it was a pretty crazy time, especially if you enjoyed playing as either Thrall or Rhaegar. Since then, Sundering and Earthquake have both gone through a number of changes, including how long their cooldowns are. Like, Sundering is now 70 seconds, Earthquake is 100 seconds. I think it used to be 60 seconds for either one or for both at some point or another. So he's gone through quite a bit of change over time, especially in the past year or year and a half, where his talent tree is very different from how it used to be. Though I think I've been able to find a build you can use. I think either Echo of the Elements is a good way to be able to get that second charge of Chain Lightning to be able to help with that solo lane aspect. Crash Lightning, I think, is pretty hard to do, pretty difficult to do. Rolling Thunder is also kind of a safe choice, where you'll be able to add another way to get more mana, get another bounce of Chain Lightning. But the second charge, I think, is also really good. But I'll go through this as we go along. Some people don't really know what to make of his current place in the game right now. I hardly ever see him. Some people do still really like him, but a lot of people think he's not as good as he used to be. Let's take a look at him today and find out.
Glory to the Horde.
Glory to the Horde. Indeed. I can tell you right now, I am very much eager to find out what they do for him and his own story when Battle for Azeroth comes out. I am very eager to see what happens to Thrall, how his story continues. Does he come back with a newfound purpose? Because the last time we saw Thrall, and you can see this in my main World of Warcraft playthrough where I play as an Orc Shaman, where at the beginning of Legion I get the Doomhammer from him, and he's like, I have a great deal of searching, and thinking to do. Basically wants to go find himself, redefine his purpose. He felt like he was no longer worthy to hold the Doomhammer ever since his battle with Garrosh, and he's just kind of disappeared. And I keep hoping he's gonna come back and he's gonna be like, he rediscovered himself and he's like more determined and stronger than ever. He's re-established his bond with the elements. I just want them to do justice to Thrall again. Just bring him back as strong as ever. But anyway, let's go ahead and pick Echo of the Elements. This is this is a talent I find a little difficult to do because it kind of falls into the same category as Ragnaros's talent that he had, where he has to kill minions with it. Otherwise, you're not gonna... Yeah, see? So the way this works, kill minions or heroes within 1.5 seconds of hitting them with Chain Lightning. So you have to, like, immediately destroy them as soon as you hit them with the lightning. But if you don't, you're not going to get any counts towards the stacks. So look at that. I couldn't get the stacks for that minion because that time already expired. Now, fortunately, you can time this with your teammates if they are going to be destroying enemy minions, and then you can have them help you out. Like, see? The fact that, that ETC was attacking that minion, I figured that would help me get some stacks there. So you gotta spend some time in the early game if you want to take advantage of this quest talent here. So you have to hold on a minute, let it go off cooldown, and then attack them, and hopefully be able to actually finish them off. But it does require some patience. You can see, even some of those, I wasn't able to actually get the stacks because I wasn't quick enough to destroy them, so... 5 stacks, but... yeah. It takes a while for this quest talent to get going. So early on in the game, you'll find Thrall players that pick this, including myself, spending time early in the game just focusing on killing minions with this, just to get the stacks up, and then once you do, you will feel more free to join your team for the rest of the game when it comes to doing things like the objective and such, and team fights. But early on, you're going to want to be spending time doing this so you can try and get your stacks. So see, even there, I wasn't quick enough to destroy that minion. Because it wasn't a second and a half. There we go. I got 1 stack there. Alright, so at level 4, I'm going to take Mana Tide to help with Thrall's mana problems. See, I still didn't get that stack. I didn't get that stack in because Tychus's grenade threw off my timing. Ugh. So this is, as you can tell, a frustrating thing when it comes to playing Thrall these days. Like Thrall players will get very like, don't ruin my stacks! Which I can totally understand and relate to. It's a little different and a little more difficult compared to the likes of, say, Nazebo with his stacks. So, like, right here, see, I can't tell the enemy, my friendly minions, don't destroy that minion until I hit it with Chain Lightning. Got a few stacks there. So what Mana-Tide does, as you can see, whenever Frostwolf Resilience triggers, it gives me mana, and it reduces my ability cooldowns. So it's sort of a mini battle momentum. It's not quite the original as it used to be, but it's kind of a nice little callback. Alright, gotta hold off. Wait. Nope, not quick enough. Alright, so there's a number of things you can do here at level 7. Oh, I should have hit him with Chain Lightning first. Nope. It has to be within a second and a half of hitting them with Chain Lightning. Alright, I'm gonna go Sippy Cup over here. Let's see. They have a Tyrael. But let's go with Maelstrom Weapon. Hey, I finished the Chain Lightning quest. Now, see, what I'm doing is I am trying to... So, This quest is basic attacks against heroes when your Wind Fury's movement speed is active will increase its damage by 1. After you're gaining 20, you increase the movement speed you get with Wind Fury by 40%. If you get 40, you permanently increase your base attack's movement speed by 15%. So you're going to want to keep on just attacking the enemy heroes once you have this active. Ah! Wasn't able to save myself long enough, especially against Zul'jin's basic attacks. But you can see we already have 17 stacks. Now, I'm not saying this is the best talent at this tier. Don't get me wrong. I consider it a fun talent sometimes, like for these kind of situations. But really, the better talents to take are Ancestral Wrath, if you are planning on using that, because you get that and it'll do more if you use it against a high health hero. And Follow Through is always a solid choice. It's always a solid choice. You hit, Alright. Go ahead and stay on this for a moment. Get some more stacks here. Alright, that may kill me now. Nope, never mind. Tyrael didn't hit me. Let me sippy cup. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna go with Sundering, actually. Get some more stacks here. Ugh! I don't know what happened there. I was trying to hit Zul'jin with my Sundering to stop him from attacking me, and then go and attack Stukov, and I think I got killed before I could pull that off. He must have gotten a basic attack off that killed me before I was able to hit him with Sundering. Let's see what the recap says. Yep, pretty much. Fortunately, I have a Sergeant Hammer that wants to just sit on the objective. With my movement speed, I can catch him. Very nice, very nice. Get some more stacks there. You know what? That Stukov actually saved me, because I probably would have died there. Look at this. My AI teammates just not even caring about that objective. Did not even get through a lot. So also, by the way, Thrall historically was not just a great solo laner, but he was also a great jungler, as we like to call in this game, where they're able to go around and be able to get camps, do all those little things, kind of like Sonya and Illidan. Thrall kind of fell into that category as well, because he could be able to use his Frostwolf Resilience while using his abilities against the camps there. You see how fast I was able to get that camp?
Well done.
It's a great example of how Thrall has been usually a very stable both solo laner and jungler. Get some more stacks there. I'm almost done with the quest, actually. Use my Chain Lightning to try and keep myself alive. Alright, there we go. And now I'm just going to be able to run around faster throughout the rest of the game here. Look how much faster I am now. That's unmounted. That's without Wind Fury. Alright, let's see here. I think Spirit Shield, which is basically a spell shield. However, it's got a twist on it that's unique for Thrall. It's 45-second cooldown, 50 spell armor. Frostwolf Resilience reduces the cooldown by 10 seconds. So you can either get double stacks for Frostwolf from Wind Fury. You can activate Frostwolf, or you can get Spirit Shield. I'm looking at their comp. It's not really spell-heavy comp, so I think I'm just going to go with Grace of Air to get more stacks when I use my Wind Fury, especially now that I have the Act quest finished. Oh, look at this. I can just keep on getting stacks. So now, because I've got that extra movement speed, no one's ever going to be able to outrun me. So if I wanted to chase them down for things such as working on this Wind Fury quest, I could. I could do it. Let's go ahead and Sippy Cup.
Terminal and bring in the protector.
Just keep on getting those stacks. Just keep on being able to spam my abilities. Look at that. So great. I've always enjoyed playing Thrall. Now, this build doesn't necessarily work in competitive play, but it's a fun build. At least I think it's a fun build. Yep. Alright, so now we have a couple different options we can go with here. I've never really liked Thunderstorm. Tempest Fury, still here, still the same. And Alpha Wolf, I think, was something they added. Being able to kind of have an extra percentage-based damage dealing ability. Let's go with Tempest Fury since we are going into this kind of Wind Fury build, which, as you saw, gives me 3 more stacks to that Wind Fury quest. Look at the sustain I've got here. Especially in these minion waves with it bouncing to all these minions.
Assign a gunner so you can unleash the protector's firepower.
Did that okay. I totally wasted my sundering there. Whoop, nope, 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 don't do it, don't do it. Just get some chain lightning stacks there. Let's go down here and soak, because I want to see if I can get us to level 20 before this game ends. Look at that. Just keep getting health and mana back. Look at that. You know, see, it's moments like that that kind of reminds me of those days when Thrall first came out and he was just so strong. He just kept getting health, mana back, and he could just spam his abilities, and you just couldn't kill him. He was so tanky. He was like the tankiest assassin I had ever seen in this game. With the exception of Illidan, like, in his heyday.
For honor and glory, your time has come.
Get more stacks here. Alright, now we're going to pick up Wind Rush. This used to be Bolt of the Storm, but they changed it for Thrall. You teleport to a target and you gain Wind Fury. So we now have another way to be able to activate Wind Fury and get more Wind Fury stacks. Which, of course, with the fact that it's a Bolt of the Storm, we can use it either to chase or to escape. It's one of my favorite variations of Bolt of the Storm they've ever added into this game. Really like it. Huh. So I can... Look at that. I lasted there a lot longer than I probably should have. But that was because I kept spamming my abilities and getting more Frostwolf resilience there. Gonna ping that, try and get my AI teammates away from there. Even though I can see they're pushing well, but that's also getting pushed. That's up. So, Thrall has never really seen that much time in pro play. I mean, he would see some, but he wasn't one that you would see, like, all the time. Before his rework, he was a character that you could see a lot on maps like Brax's Holdout to be that solo laner on the top lane. Though these days I hardly ever see him anymore. And I think it's because he could be that way early in the game, but ever since the rework, he has to kind of get going, where he's not that way until, like, later on in the game. Like, right now, look at this. I've got 89 stacks of this. It's great. Now, I don't think this is, like, the go-to way, because a lot of these days, a lot of the melee attack assassin heroes these days are kind of punished in the current meta today with characters like Arthas and Johanna. Like, characters with slows as well as blinds just really hurt characters, that specialize this, including Thrall, if you decide to go with a build kind of like this. Though I'm not saying this is like a build to go with here when it comes to Thrall. This is just kind of a fun little build I've always liked. Oh, totally whiffed. Totally whiffed on that Sundering. Got another Wind Fury there because of my level 20 talent. Go ahead and activate Wind Fury again and try and keep chasing this Zul'jin. Go. Look at that. All that movement speed just cannot get away from me. It would be so great if I could pull this off in ranked play, but I don't see this kind of build really working that well in ranked play. As fun as it would be, I don't think this is like the kind of build that you would actually want to use in ranked play. Sometimes the Ancestral Wrath at level 7 instead of Maelstrom Weapon is just more beneficial in fights, especially when you're going up against double warrior compositions.
The Protector's weapon will not function without a gunner.
Yes, it will not function without a gunner. Alright, let's just go to the core. Boom. Dow. Do. Alright. So early on, you do gotta spend time working on that quest talent to get your stack so you can use it later on. But once you get that out of the way, you can be able to do a number of different things to help out your team, whether it's helping out in team fights, whether it's jungling, whether it's solo laning, just a number of different things I think you can do with Thrall. It's just that currently in the game, a lot of melee heroes are kind of punished. I mean, he can, I suppose, work well with some dive comps, especially late in the game once he picks up his Bolt of the Storm talent to level 20. But really, Thrall is just not that highly valued in the game right now. I hardly ever see him. I know some people that do still like to play him. But he's not really that favorably looked upon in the current meta these days. The build we went with: Echo of the Elements, Mana Tide, Maelstrom Weapon, Sundering, Grace of Air, Tempest Fury, Wind Rush. I just decided to go with basically a self-sustaining Wind Fury build. It's a fun build, as you saw, but I don't think this is like necessarily the go-to highly recommended build by anybody. It's just a fun little build I came up with. I thought, oh, this is kind of fun. So, I hope, I think they're all, he's probably okay right now, but I think he could do with a bit of tweaks, changes to perhaps make him more favorable. But then again, it could be just that the current meta just doesn't favor a character like him right now. Up next, we're going to be taking a look at a character that burst onto the scene in this game big time, and I will never forget when she joined Heroes of the Storm. The first character that joined from Overwatch, the poster child, the poster girl of Overwatch, Tracer, will be up next when we come back. Stay tuned.